What's up, Mythic Crew? Welcome back to another video. So in this one, you will start off by seeing me prep these parts for paint. These are for a Mach 1 Mustang for my buddy Kevin's brother-in-law. I'm taking some sandpaper, wet sandpaper and water, and I am sanding them. And then after that, we are taking some Scotch-Brite to make sure that we've scuffed every corner before we hang them up and get spraying. We take the wax and grease remover, put it on a rag, and wipe them down to clean them. Then we take a crystal tack cloth, we open it up, we bunch it, and then we'll wipe them down to make sure that there's no debris on them also that will get stuck in the clear. Finally, we have a two-part clear coat, just like you would spray out of a gun, but we have it in a can here. You pop the bottom to create the mixture after you shake it. Now I'm at the shop, taking the old spoiler off the car and preparing to put on the new one. What's up, Mythic Crew? Welcome back to another video. This is Seth, and in this one we are now in the brand new shop that I got in Scottsdale. Here is a little view. So we have my buddy Kevin's brother-in-law's Mach 1 Mustang in. Take a look. We have already removed the spoiler off of the car. I brought home the other one that he has and I painted it, and then I have some little fender liners or wheel spats that we're gonna put on also, and then we've got some lowering springs and some adjustable sway bars that we're gonna put on the car too. So yeah, we're gonna completely transform the looks of this thing, and yeah, let's get to it. Got this beautiful 2016 Porsche Cayenne SUV. I will be replacing the light switch in the lower side of the dash for the headlights and everything because it actually broke. So yeah, we'll do that now. Alright, so we have the Cayenne dash back together. It's got a new switch that's functioning perfectly fine, and we're good to go on this one.
Now, before I can put these wheel spats on, I'm cleaning off everything with some thinner, and then we are putting adhesive promoter on there, and then I peel off this sticker and get it stuck. Now we've moved on to the rear of the car. These are the bolts for the rear sway bar. I am loosening them so that we can drop it down and get the aftermarket one in. Now, to be able to get in the rear lowering springs, we have to loosen the strut, take out the bolts, and then we are going to drop down the rear subframe just on one side so that we don't mess up the alignment of it. And then after we tighten it back up, once we put in that lowering spring, we'll do the other side. Here's a little look at everything put back in the car. Sway bar and lowering springs. Now we've moved on to the front. I loosen the caliper, I put it on top of that rail and zip tie it, and then we start to loosen this knuckle so that we can get it off the front strut and get that out of there. Now these were pretty annoying. They're splined, so you actually have to hammer them out.
Well, as you can see, we finished the back of the car. We got the adjustable sway bar in and the lowering springs. We're now moving on to the front of the car, and we're going to take out the struts so that we can get the spring off of them and then put on the new ones. So making good progress on the staying here. These little fender liner wheel guard things that I put on, those look great, so let's keep going.
I will say it is lucky for me that at the shop we have a strut spring compressor so that I can do this a little bit safer and get everything done correct. Now I move on to taking out the air box so that we have access to taking out the front sway bar.
Well, that sway bar is definitely not easy to get out, but we got all 4 bolts. We have to take off the link on this side still, and then we can slide that sway bar out of there. And then after that, I'll slide in the new adjustable one. Okay. So now we have the aftermarket adjustable sway bar with the harder, stiffer bushings. It's a little bit thicker too, well, quite a bit thicker, so gonna be a much stiffer ride, which is great for handling. Now we're gonna try to get it in there, and that's probably the last thing I'll do for tonight.
Now that we got the sway bar in, I'm putting in the strut, and we are going to get everything buttoned up and repeat on the other side so that we can complete this suspension work.
All right, we've got the car buttoned up. We put the wheels back on. Lowering springs are in on both sides, front and rear. We're gonna drop the car down now and take our first look at it lowered. What's up, Mythic crew? This is Seth. We are back at the Mythic Exotics shop that I've opened in Scottsdale. And today we have a Ford, unfortunately. It is a EcoSport, a 1-liter, 3-cylinder car. I just took it on a test drive and it looks like the struts are not very good. It's super loose on the right side and the boots are all ripped, so we are going to take those out. So we're going to take those struts out, and then we could not get full assembly, so we're just going to disassemble those ones with the strut spring compressor on the wall, and then put the top hat and the spring back onto the new struts and put them in there. Now we have a 2016 Acura ILX. We are going to do the engine air filter, cabin air filter, flush the coolant, and flush the transmission fluid. So we've got some OEM Acura parts right here.
Now, first off, we walk under the car, do a little bit of a visual inspection, make sure there's no leaks and that the suspension looks good. Now that the fluid's drained and it's closed up, we open up that nut so that we can put the filler in and fill up this transmission with the brand new fluid. We also drained it of coolant, so we now need to fill that and bleed out any air bubbles. Lastly, behind the glove box here, we have the cabin air filter, which when I take out, it is actually very dirty, so it's a good thing that we went for a change.
Alright, we have the Acura all put together and that is finished. So like, subscribe, and keep watching to see the journey of how it goes owning my own shop.